Welcome to Konoha Crush, a clandestine effort to exhaustively research and document events occurring in and around the village hidden in the leaves. I'm Ruby.
I'm Gwen. Hey.
Hi, episode 32, we're here. How's it going? How's your week been?
My week's been good. Let's see. What did I do?
Some gay shit, probably.
Yeah, some gay shit. Don't fucking at me.
I feel like it's my sacred right to at you.
Mm-hmm. Like, the gay shit is really fresh. Like, fuck you.
What? I feel like I've done nothing wrong here. I don't even know what this is saying in the podcast. I just don't feel like I've done anything wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. Sorry for interrupting. What have you been up to this week?
Oh, God. Like, basically nothing. Like, I've been playing more Guilty Gear.
Okay. You've been winning all the time.
Yeah, I've won every match.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty impressive. Not many people can brag about a 100% win rate, but like...
Yeah. I'm actually pretty tough and cool. In Guilty Gear, though.
I've kind of had this impression about you. Not necessarily about Guilty Gear, like more generally.
Yeah,
like...
yeah. Right.
Uh-huh.
I've been playing Baiken, by the way.
Oh my god, that's so sexy of you. We've got a fucking... the energy here.
What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Oh my god. Okay. Well, I'm. Oh god, what have I been up to? What have I been up to that I want to talk about in the podcast? I got like distracted, kind of like from like I was kind of getting back in swing of things, like watching anime a little bit, or like gearing up to, and I got sort of distracted by video games for a while, and so I sort of fell off of that. But I'm crawling my way back there. I watched the usual episode of Licorice Recoil with Gwen.
That's right.
Yeah, feeling pretty normal about that.
Yeah.
All looking good there. That's still a show I really enjoy. Really enjoy watching every week. I also I finished Berserk. I did it.
You did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Oh God, it's like I say when I say I finished Berserk, I mean like in the few hours between me like finishing up everything I wanted to do before like making this podcast and like sitting down to record the podcast, I read the last like 40 chapters of Berserk, and so it's just kind of like I'm like, oh okay, like I was I had so many thoughts about it, but now I'm just like sitting here and it's like, oh God, it's like so like fresh and raw in my mind in a real way. Like it's just kind of overwhelming. It's
yeah, you haven't had time to process any of it yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I mean, it's fucking awesome. It's Berserk. It's incredible. Like, I've said this time and time again, but like, I'm genuinely so impressed. I'm like so moved by that comic. It's like just a like very like distinct and powerful work. The ways in which it like more and more like it expands out into being this like incredibly like stunning and lush fantasy comic. Just like these unbelievable illustrations on page to page is like.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, right? And like, when they get to like... So the thing I had heard from like so many people about Berserk, and like about especially like that last like stretch of it before Mira died, right? Is like how surprised they were by like how like warm and kind it was about how like, like genuinely invested it was in like the process of healing and like the like growth of these characters and like their ability to like move past some really rough shit. So like, it was hard to be surprised by that thing, right? Like, it was hard to, like... That was just kind of what I knew Berserk to be, because I'd heard that so many times. I'd heard that refrain repeatedly, and, like, obviously I love that about the comic. And so, like, I guess the thing that took me the most by surprise, like, as I was, like, just kind of barreling through those last 40 chapters, was how much it didn't feel like it was, like, slowing down in the face of it, right? I found myself, like, closing in on, like, the end of the stuff published during Mira's life, and it was, like... everything is still moving. Everything in this world is like still going on. Everything like there's just this huge like potential sort of like expanding in front of like what could happen for these characters. All these like different things being introduced like right up until the very end. Right? It's just I don't know. And it's one of those things like it ending where it does. Right? Is like there's obviously some very like gratifying things about that. Like so some of these last two chapters are like there's so much like just genuine like goofy comedy stuff and so much like genuinely like like soft and warm moments, but it's also just like I don't know. I guess I'm really feeling like the weight of the fact that like it had become like such like a vibrant and exciting thing. It had become like all of these different moving parts, all of these different characters that I love to see, and like just wanting to. God, I don't even know. Like it's just.
Yeah.
Like it just felt like a thing like never stopped, like never missed a beat. That like I don't know. I'm just like I'm kind of in awe of it. I'm like I really. I don't know. Oh God. Sorry, I feel like I'm being particularly inarticulate about this right now. I'm just like really.
Yeah. Hey, no, I get it. I also read Berserk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's just. There's just nothing else fucking like it, you know?
Yeah. And like there won't be.
Yeah.
Like it's gone.
Yeah, right. Like, and there's that continuation that's going on by his assistants, and like I'm sure I won't stay away from that like forever. I'm gonna give myself some time, right? But like, it's just like it's not like it can never really be the same as like what it was, and like what it was just such a like in spite of how like bumpy that road could be. I just feel like grateful and like moved that it exists. I don't know. I feel like I'm basically not saying anything other than being like very emotional, right? But like, oh my God.
Right. God damn.
I guess I should say, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other biggest surprise for me in Berserk is how much of my husband got wound up being. I love that guy. He's wonderful. I'm just so happy for him. I'm so happy he's come so far. I'm happy he's got his like goofy kids he's looking after. It's just great. What an awesome guy. What an awesome guy.
Yeah,
what an awesome dude.
I love God so fucking much. Like that's something they don't warn you about.
That's what they don't warn you about.
Do you want to get to the episodes? Do you need a moment?
Like maybe I need a moment, but like also we like I don't know what more I could say, right? I could just kind of like stumble over our words and like cry more, but that's not really like a podcast experience that I think people are coming to us for. So like
right. Okay, I'll just
maybe we.
Yeah, I'll just start reading my summaries. Okay.
Okay, yeah, do your best.
Okay. Episode 95, The Fifth Hokage, A Life on the Line. Naruto hits Kabuto with the Rasengan and sends him flying. Orochimaru and Jiraiya pause their tussle to notice, and Kabuto shows off his ability to heal super fast as Naruto collapses. After a moment of posturing, Kabuto collapses too. Tsunade notices Naruto's heart is fucked up from an attack Kabuto snuck in while he was getting Rasengan'd. Tsunade starts healing him. It starts to look like he won't make it when he reaches up for Tsunade's necklace and declares victory before going unconscious. He's okay. Tsunade puts the necklace around his neck. Orochimaru notices how tough and cool Naruto is and decides it's a good idea to not let the Akatsuki get him. So he tongue flies over there to try and mouth stab him with the grass sword. Tsunade takes the hit instead.
The start of this episode, right? In this fucking moment, the Rasengan is like the normal Rasengan is like the biggest fucking deal it's ever gonna be.
Right.
Or like I talked about this a little bit earlier, but like when Jiraiya like just did the Rasengan to like show it off to Naruto the first time on that random fucking goon. It was like the guy went flying, but it wasn't like this.
Yeah, right. Like, he didn't fucking like bore a hole in his shirt.
Yeah, it didn't like encase him in like a fucking death chakra orb as he went flying back into a rock and then like collapsed on the ground.
Right.
Fucking like that guy was like, oh shit, here, have my wallet, and but like Kabuto, I guess doesn't have like the sheer durability of that fucking guy. He doesn't have the very expensive defensive suit that guy was wearing,
and he doesn't have a wallet right now.
Oh shit!
He didn't bring his wallet.
It's like a secret effect of the Rasengan is if you like here's my wallet after you get hit, it's like you take way less damage.
Yeah,
it's like the counterplay.
Yeah, totally.
Like it is this this huge fucking like destructive thing in this moment, but like we'll manage to be at that for like basically just this moment because I think it like kind of scales back down to being like here's the attack that Naruto does like very quickly.
Yeah.
It's still like cool, obviously, right? It's like, oh, he had to work really hard to learn this. It's like strong, right? It's just like,
and like if we need to find justification for it, which we don't, by the way, but like this is the space that I like to play in sometimes. I think Naruto's just baby snake in it.
Yeah.
This is the first time he did it right, and so he put fucking everything in there.
I mean, he's like fucking. I mean, part of this is because he gets attacked, right? Part of this is because Kabuto like fucking like got him also.
Yeah.
But he's just fucking out after this. He's like, you know, he's probably making smaller Rasengan's after this.
Right. Yeah.
Fucking Jiraiya and Orochimaru are like flying through the air, like colliding with each other like they're fucking Dragon Ball Z characters. In the background, like, oh wait, shit, he did the Rasengan.
Yeah, they stopped to like stand like upside down on the snake.
This snake is very accommodating. It's just completely stationary. I guess it can't move much. It's like half link in a swamp, but like, you know.
Yeah.
But you know, obviously, Jiraiya's happy about it. Orochimaru's like, damn, I really want this kid to just suck shit. And Tsunade is just sort of watching on. And she's like, oh shit, maybe I can believe in a boy again. Because, you know, that's just kind of where Tsunade's at.
Yeah, totally. It's important to have a boy to believe in.
As much as I've been like kind of down on like the way to which Kabuto just kind of collapses into being like this very like ill-defined foil for Naruto here in this arc, I do think it's very fun. He's like, you see, I'm actually like perfect at healing. I'm so good at recovering from any injury, and Orochimaru loves me for it, and I'm awesome. His glasses fucking crack and collapse on the ground. I think it's just pretty satisfying, right? It's just like, oh yeah, the Rasengan, it gets you.
Yeah, it gets you bad.
It gets you bad. Kabuto would just be fucking dead if he didn't have like an auto-healing body, maybe.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But you know, even as Kabuto's collapsed on the ground, he's like, Naruto's fucked now. He's not recovering at all. He's gonna die, and this is gonna be another fucking boy that died in front of you, Tsunade. And Tsunade obviously isn't gonna let that happen. You know, she's here to like fucking try again. She's here to like try and, you know, finally have a boy not die in front of her. So like the construction of this is like, you know, is very straightforward. But the problem I wind up having with it is that, I mean, again, this is also kind of the problem we wound up having with the Tsunade flashbacks, right?
Yeah.
Where like those were situations where like it seemed like she, I mean, like one of those she definitely could have done anything because fucking Nawaki was like mangled beyond recognition. And like, I don't know, Don had some like fucking organs explode inside of him or something. We don't know what was up there, but it was pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
And so when Tsunade does it here, it's not like because we don't really have like a clearly defined scale of like what's wrong with Naruto in comparison to what's wrong in these other places, right? And because we don't really have like a great sense of what goes into healing jutsu, there's not really anything that feels like it's a real actual like breakthrough for Tsunade in terms of like how she can do this or how well she can do this, right? It's not like, oh, she's doing this better than she ever did it before. It's just like, oh, she's doing the thing and like it works this time. Yeah, because like the boy isn't too injured, I guess, right? Like,
yeah, and like ostensibly she's a better healer now than she was when she was like 20 or whatever.
But like, is she? Because she just kind of like quit after that and like went off and like apparently let her skills atrophy or whatever. So like, is she even?
Yeah, I mean, fair. Probably, maybe not.
Like she's got like a new trick we see later. It's like maybe she's learned some things, but like I don't know. It's like really unclear. And so like what it basically ends up feeling is like, oh, there's not like any real change in like Tsunade here. She just got lucky this time, right?
Yeah.
Like it's like an extension of like the fucking the gambling through an character where she like made the bet against Naruto mastering the Rasengan, but she's also making the bet to like you know, I'm betting on the fact that this boy can be strong or cool, and like, you know, she's seen it just now. It's like, okay, well, here's my new boy to believe in. I'm just gonna do it again this time. This one's really gonna be it, and like she's right because the comic is named Naruto.
Okay, here's the thing. Maybe Naruto survived because of her bad luck. Now hear me out.
Okay.
The wager to receive the necklace supersedes how unlucky it would be.
Okay, I see. All right.
If she died, right?
She just has to like wait to hand over the necklace until somebody gets badly injured.
Yeah, like if we look at the evidence, if we look at what happened here, that's that I think that's just how it works.
Yeah, I mean, she should have just been like, okay, yeah, Nawaki, how about, like after you come back from your big cool mission, I'll give you this necklace. And then Nawaki would be the fucking Hokage by now, I guess, right? Like fucking heroes would have died. They'd be like, hey, okay, Nawaki's Hokage now. He's the next in line.
Or specifically, I bet you can't come back here safe and sound. If I lose, you win the necklace.
I bet you're gonna die. If you're so fucking cool and too good for birthday presents, I bet you're gonna die on your first mission as a 12-year-old. So, yeah. And if I'm wrong, you could come back and get that necklace.
Literally.
She just doesn't know how to game the system.
She's gotta learn how to game the system. It's true. Now I'm imagining that was her, like, rationale for making the bet with Naruto was to, like, try and try and game the system. Like, okay, yeah. Like, this kid's not going to be the Hokage. Mm-hmm. Absolutely not. But if he learns the Rasengan, like, maybe that means he'll have a chance. I know.
Right.
I'll make a bet.
And, like, if I win the bet, that just means, like, oh, I won because something bad was about to happen, and the thing that was bad that was about to happen was this kid was going to die. So it's fine. Like...
Yeah.
And just making it happen without getting as invested in advance. It's just the smart play. Mm-hmm. So, like, you know, maybe we gotta hand it to her.
Yeah.
Orochimaru has, like, seen Naruto do the Rasengan, right? And he's like, oh shit, I can't fucking let the Akatsuki get him. And this is one of those things where it's like, oh right, Naruto was not, like, a very precisely planned thing. Because, as we learn later, right, the Akatsuki doesn't really want Naruto specifically from him. They just want to take the big animal out of him, and he would, like, presumably die in the process.
Right.
Like, that is what the Akatsuki's goals are eventually revealed to be. But, like, you know, that is, and so, like, you know, it really wouldn't matter whether or not Naruto knows how to do the Rasengan in that equation, right? Like...
Yeah, like, he just has the fox. Like, and, like, end of story, right? Like, they want... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it's one thing that stand out to me, like, in that way, like, oh yeah, this wasn't figured out, but also it got me thinking, like, what if the Akatsuki's goal was just to collect all the fucking, like, saddest strong boys in the world?
God, that would have been so good.
They just fucking intercede to, like, Gaara on his way back to the village, just like, hey, that village's like shit, you want to be up to something? They fucking go and pick up Haku, who has actually secretly survived. There's, like, a fucking...
God, that's the fucking Akatsuki plan in my rewrite.
Like, I don't know how it all works, but I think it would be very fun if there was just, like, here's the fucking sad kid super team. That's being deployed with maximum tactical efficiency.
Yeah, and also the Akatsuki would be like the secret, like, late game, like, good guys, actually, who were like who were like right in, like, knowing that, like, the village system was fucked up.
Right, because, like, you know, the village system is, like, producing, like, is strong kids in some measure, but it's doing it in a way that, like, has no real compassion for them. So, like, if you, like, take them out of that, then they can, like...
Then they can, like, really thrive. Right, they're gathering all the, like, traumatized strong boys.
I don't know, that's basically what I'd say about this half of the episode. You know, Orochimaru, like, lunges forward to stab Naruto and, like, stabs Tsunade instead. And then we get to the next half of the episode, right?
Yep.
Unless you have something else to say?
Nope.
Okay.
Orochimaru tries to tell her that keeping the kid around is bad news, but she won't hear it. Tsunade tells him that the kid will be the Hokage one day, and Orochimaru tells her only fools do that. Tsunade remembers herself saying a similar thing. Regretting that, and remembering her boys with ideals, she declares that she's putting her life on the line too. Orochimaru obliges and stabs her some more. Orochimaru taunts her about her fear of blood, so she gets over it suddenly and sends him flying with a kick. She activates a weird mark on her head, and activates her own super healing ability. All three Sannin do their big summons.
Alright, so Tsunade is, like, you know, she's back in the fight a little bit. She's ready to, like, not just be, like, kneeling on the ground sadly. Still doesn't start out very well for her. So much of this episode, of, like, this part of the episode is her getting hit by Orochimaru's sword and not really being able to do anything about it.
Yeah.
Still kind of a bummer. Like, you know, maybe like a little more with her by the end of our episodes this week, but it's still like, man.
Yeah, not a fantastic showing.
Right, like, I get this is, like, sort of to set up her, like, new ability later in this episode that she's, like, getting, like, extra injured now, but it's also not, like, a very cool way to show that either.
Right, like, she could at least be, like, doing something about it instead of, like, meekly fucking body blocking sword attacks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. It's not very exciting on that level. You know, Orochimaru is like, only a fool would be the Hokage to her, right? And she, like, remembers back to when she said that, like, same thing to, like, Naruto. But, like, the thing about this is that, like, these are, like, the same... Like, these are the same words, more or less, but they don't really come from the same place.
Right.
Like, Tsunade said that because, like, she was like, yeah, being the Hokage means, like, fucking throwing your life away in pursuit of, like, an impossible dream, right? Which is, like, yeah, I mean, that was, like, that is, like, a thing that a character can believe, right? And Orochimaru is saying it because he's like, it's fucking stupid to want to be the president of the town I'm going to explode.
Yeah. You know what? And They're still both right.
Right, but it's weird. Just like, oh, I see the error of my ways in this guy. And it's like, not really. Like, this guy, you aren't even thinking the same things. You just like,
yeah, it just
you just said the same words coincidentally.
Yeah.
You know, she like focuses in on her dream that like someday a boy will be Hokage, which like I mean, honestly, several boys have been Hokage already. I don't know what she's like missing at this point, but like maybe she wants to make the pick and have it go right. I mean that's very much what it is, right? But like anyway, she activates her new power, and I wish this was like a cooler thing, like. Don't get me wrong, I think it's very cool to be like, okay, I'm like the healer character who's like really strong, and I activate my like super mode that makes me like instantly regenerate from injuries, right?
Yeah, the problem is that Kabuto was already doing that.
Right, but okay, this is different though. This is like it's not healing. It's not like healing. It's regeneration or whatever. It's like fucking her cells are dividing to like completely restore the wounds, and it doesn't. Like presumably it's like a biological process and not like a strictly like chakra based one or whatever. I feel like they really like undersell what this could do, right?
Right.
Like because like she like body blocked a bunch of sword hits and then like her like cuts close as she like stands back up and Orochimaru's like, whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah, what if Orochimaru cut off a fucking arm?
Right, like in the fucking, they say like, oh, you can even regenerate limbs, but like it doesn't, right? Like,
yeah,
I feel like if you really want to tell us, you have her like just get like super like fucked up, and she just keeps going, and like she just keeps like an arm gets like sheared off, and she just like keeps fucking going, like still has the armor back and like regrows by the time she like runs into him. Be fucking sick. But instead she just kind of like stands there and like heals her, like I mean they're like she gets stabbed in the chest, that's pretty bad, but it's like.
Yeah, it's bad to be stabbed in the chest, right? Like obviously, like we all know that, but it's not like a super like impressive thing to like show off to distinguish your special super healing ability, set apart from like the other one we just saw.
Yeah, I mean obviously she would be fine if she got hit by the Rasengan. Is the difference. She's just like watching on, it's like no, don't do that. It's going to like shorten your lifespan. But like what Shizune doesn't understand is that's not a real downside for your ability in like a shonen manga.
Yeah, no, don't heal from that mortal wound. It's going to shorten your lifespan.
But also, like, I mean, I feel like having the power that shortens your lifespan is like that doesn't. It's not going to matter in the grand scheme of things, right? Like, Tsunade's still like fucking alive and kicking and seems to be doing great over in Boruto times. Yeah. And like presumably will just continue to be because like she's not like a.
Yeah, like they're not gonna make Tsunade age to death in Boruto.
Right, like. Like she will just be fine until like the story ends, or until like I don't know, maybe they decide to like a heroic sacrifice thing with her to like make people remember that they kind of like Tsunade or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not like a real fucking problem. So like I feel like if you're making a downside to your jutsu, this is the one to pick. You need to be like an entirely different kind of story for that thing to matter. Like fucking Kishimoto could just entirely forget that this even has that problem, and like that it would never matter in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'd forget.
Yeah. Because like, oh shit, I thought it was some awesome shit Tsunade can do by like recovering from an injury in the middle of a fight, so she's gonna keep doing it, and like I don't really care about having her die of old age because that's fucking boring.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's basically what I'd say about this episode. Unless you had more to say?
No, I do want to say.
Okay.
Orochimaru is saying that and being like, I can't wait until I learn that one.
Yeah, I can fucking throw away so many bodies. It doesn't even fucking matter. Like, I think there's like a time limit on like how fast he can like change bodies, right? Like, he needs like there's like a 2-year. I think it's like a 2-year like fucking cooldown period on the body swapping.
Right, but you're not gonna make yourself age.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah,
you're
not gonna burn through like fucking 60 years in 2 years unless you're like really getting yourself hurt for no reason.
Every day I wake up and get run over by a truck for fun.
Every day I just cut off one of my limbs just to feel something.
Just to feel something. Yeah, Orochimaru is like, alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut off my whole body.
I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna see if the head grows back or the body grows back. I wanna know what goes on there.
Yeah, what you do is you cut off your whole body, and then when that grows back, you cut off like half of your head.
Uh-huh.
Right? and then you fudge it a little bit to one side to cut off like the other half of the head, and you just try and get like a whole body's worth of you that has been like cut off and regrown. And then you put yourself back together over there and like reanimate it, right? And then it's just like, ooh, which one's the real one?
This is an awesome fucking quandary I've created for myself. And Kamino's just like, why did you do any of this?
Yeah, and then the Orochimaru start making out. Obviously.
Obviously. He would.
Make out with himself?
Yeah.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? Would you not?
I would. I would.
Yeah, right? Like, who wouldn't?
Uh-huh. I feel like there's gotta be some people out there who wouldn't.
Like straight people?
Like, straight people probably wouldn't.
Or at least, like, some straight people wouldn't, right? Like, I'm sure there are straight people, or like people who would consider themselves straight, who'd be like, if it's myself, yeah, sure, why not?
See, it's easy for me, right? Even if I was straight, I could just go to the other room and be like, hey, be a boy real quick, let's figure this out.
Oh my god. You've really solved it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not straight, but if I was, it still wouldn't be a problem for me.
Yeah. It must be really hard to be straight and gender fluid.
I can't fucking do it. Like, I haven't tried, but like, I don't think I can pull it off. Every few days, I just need to break up with everybody I'm dating.
That'd be so sad.
It would be so sad. Well, I feel like that means we've like very, very definitively exhausted this episode, because we're talking about like fucking whatever at this point. So you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, but it's the good part.
This is the good part. I know. But also, like, I was thinking, like, okay, I think we've done this bit, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, at a certain point, we're just talking about my gender and not making jokes about Naruto, and I love doing that. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. Okay, let's go to episode 96.
yeah, okay, let's go for it.
Okay. Episode 96. Deadlock. Sannin Showdown. The Sannin square off with their summons, and Tsunade has Shizune watch over Naruto. The fight starts, and the giant snake Manda coils around Katsuyu. Gamabunto tries to knife him, but Manda catches the blade in his mouth. Katsuyu explodes into lots of little guys to escape. After dodging a giant knife throw, Jiraiya and Gamabunta use a combination attack to burn Manda alive, but he escapes, leaving behind his shed skin. Manda tries to catch them off guard by burrowing underground, but Tsunade comes in from behind wielding Gamabunta's giant knife, and pins Manda to the ground. Orochimaru tries to choke her with his tongue. She frees herself with her very cool and strong arms, and yanks him up by the tongue to punch him square in the face.
Alright, so everybody got their fucking biggest guys to bear, right? You know, fucking Manda's here, Katsuyu's here, Gamabunta's here. I love when Gamabunta's here. I love like how so much of what Gamabunta does when he like arrives at the scene is just like, oh, these fucking guys, huh?
Yeah.
Which is great. It's really fun. Manda is just like a sicko, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Kabuto's like, oh shit, you know, if Manda knows that Orochimaru is weakened, he'll just like turn on Orochimaru, eat him. And Manda's like, hey, Orochimaru, give me a fucking 100 guys to eat. And Orochimaru's like, yeah, sure, okay. It's easy for me.
Easy for me. I'm so good at getting guys to sacrifice.
I also like that when Gamabunta's being like a rowdy shithead, like blowing smoke. Or Gamabunta's like being a rowdy shit, like blow smoke in Manda's face, just to be rude.
Yeah, yeah.
To get him a little bit pissed off before the fight.
King shit, honestly.
Yeah, really fun. Katsuyu, unfortunately, doesn't have a ton to say. She's just, like, really, like, soft-voiced, and, you know, I mean, she's the girl one, I get it, but, like, I wish she got to be, like, a little more characterful, like, in comparison to, like, the two big guys here, right? Like, it's a bit of a bummer, maybe.
Yeah. Like, that personality for, like, one of the slugs would be fine. I just think the big king slug should be like a little bit more of like a bombastic character. I also wish that we got to know any other slug.
Yeah. I wish we got fucking slug sage mode.
Fuck! Right?
Every fucking time I think about it, I'm like, god damn it.
No, but literally, Katsuyu is the only named slug.
God, like, I don't doubt you on this. Like, I can't, like, I couldn't, like, say that with that same degree of certainty, but, like, if you did fucking, like, research on it, it's like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. I can't remember any other ones.
Yeah, like, I checked because I had to like look her up to write the summaries.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did find her name or whatever. But like, yeah, like I went to the slug page and they didn't even have like a section of known slugs. It was just Katsuyu is the only named slug.
This is fucking bullshit.
Right.
Maybe it's because Katsuyu is also every slug.
Yeah. Maybe Katsuyu is just every slug. Is that just true?
That could be true. Like that could be fun if they did something with it. But again, like I don't know, they don't really. She's just like here's like the soft spoken slug lady, and it's like okay, well, she doesn't like get to make an impression.
Mm-hmm.
Dry is like once the summons are like done saying their piece, Dry like looks at Orochimaru and is like you're too much of a sicko now. We're not bros anymore. And Orochimaru's like I fucking hate big bros. That's fine with me. And Tsunade is like today is the last day we'll be called the Sannin, and it's like okay, Tsunade, I don't think you can make people stop calling you the Sannin like at this point.
Yeah.
Like you can say you've like formally dissolved the group or whatever, but like all of you have already not talked to each other in like 10 years or whatever, and like you're still the Sannin. Like I just don't think that's going away that easily.
Yeah.
Like I get the symbolic gesture, but I just it's not going to take. I don't think.
Can I say a dubline here?
Oh, absolutely.
One thing Jiraiya said when they were like taunting Orochimaru was it's about time we put this guy out of our misery.
All right.
I thought that was a little fun.
Kind of a cool guy thing to say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the big guys fight starts, the summon star fights, and it's like again, we're immediately come to the face of like, oh, Katsuyu is the problem that Katsuyu faces here is that she's not fast like the other two are, so she's kind of like instantly gets like coiled up by Manda.
Yep.
And she can like get out of that, right? But like we don't really.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything after.
I mean, she spits a bit of acid out of like a rock or whatever, right?
Yeah.
That, like Manda dodges, and that's like I think basically the only attack she does in this entire fight, and then it's just like, okay, it's time for Gamabunta and Manda to like fight some. Like Gamabunta and Manda's like fighting is like pretty sick, right? I love the big toad oil flamethrower. I love Manda's like molten skin substitution. I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
Doing the fucking snake tail to like do a feint, come out of the ground. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So this is the reason why Katsuyu isn't very much of a match for like the other two big summons. It's because Tsunade doesn't fucking need it.
Yeah, that's true. like she's just like, hey, stay back. And she like picks up fucking Gamabunta's knife.
Yeah.
Which is pretty awesome. Like I'm like we've had a lot of complaints about Tsunade just not fucking doing anything, and I'm glad at least here we get like a little bit of like a little bit like all right, she's like really strong, and that can be like brought to bear in a fight. She just fucking like stabs Manda's head to the ground with a big knife.
Yeah, right. Like these summons and like the way that they function are like kind of a lot like mechs. I found.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're like big, They're like, okay, the fight is escalating. Everyone like summoned their big robot to fight in.
I guess that's like that is an interesting comparison, right? Like I'm not totally surprised that that feeling kind of winds up coming across because like I know that before Naruto, like Kishimoto's like first like one shot that like won an award or whatever was like a mech thing.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
That's probably in his head like at least a little bit,
Right, and so like it really feels like Tsunade here is the pilot just like hopping out of the cockpit and then wielding a fucking big mech-sized sword.
God.
Right?
Fucking Tsunade is Arbor Hunter Mellow Link.
Like, yeah, like literally, right?
Oh my god.
Like, she brought the big summon because, like, this is the big summon fight, but, like, everyone knows that, like, Tsunade's big slug or whatever, like, isn't in the same league as the other ones, right? But, like, that's only because Tsunade brought her along to be, like, in the running, like, on a technicality, right? Like, Tsunade is still ready, like, on her own to, like...
Right. I guess the big utility that Katsuyu offers that makes it harder to, like, target, like, Tsunade specifically for an attack, because, like, Katsuyu can just be, like, a million fucking slugs or whatever. So, like, maybe there's something to that. I mean, like, that's not really, like, something that comes up in the staging of the fight or anything, right? They don't, like, really Katsuyu doesn't fucking do anything.
Yeah.
But... looking through that lens, I'm like a little more satisfied, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, so Tsunade subdues Manda.
Mm-hmm.
Understatement, by the way.
Yeah.
Um,
Like, Wanda's not dead, right? Like, Wanda's just been, like, stabbed through the roof of the mouth, right? Like,
yeah,
she
yeah,
missed the
yeah.
brain or whatever. But he's not doing anything else in this fight because there's a knife going, like, 6 feet into the ground or some shit. Like, probably more than that, actually. I don't even think about how big this knife is. Like, 30 feet into the ground or some shit, going directly through his, like, mouth.
Yeah, right. Like he is out of the fight, and so Orochimaru goes to like choke her,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously she just fucking like grabs the tongue and like strong arms him up to punch him in the face. It's so cool.
It's pretty fucking cool, yeah.
She should have been more like this the whole time.
Right, yeah. Like, it's very much like, oh, like, I guess she just can't do anything when she doesn't have her boy to believe in, which is, like, kind of like, but, like, when she's doing stuff, it is, like, pretty satisfying that she just fucking, like, she just fucking gets him.
Yeah.
Like, Orochimaru can't actually do shit here, it seems like. Is there more you to say about this half of the episode?
No, I think I'm good on that. You ready to move on?
Yeah.
Orochimaru goes flying, and Tsunade throws him up into the air by his tongue to keep beating the shit out of him. She goes for another yankin punch, but a muscle spasm makes her miss her attack. Her exhaustion is catching up to her, and she lashes out at Orochimaru, wanting to finish this fast. Orochimaru gets some footing and starts fighting back. He wraps Tsunade up around the arms and flies at her with the grass sword, but she catches it with her feet and throws him aside. One final punch and the fight's over, but Orochimaru is still standing. The other Sani learned about his fucked up body swap situation, and he sinks into the ground after promising to get better and destroy the hidden leaf without Tsunade's help. Everyone regroups around the unconscious Naruto, and Tsunade ages rapidly as a side effect of her healing stunt. Back in town, Naruto's shocked she has accepted the job as Hokage, and starts going over all her problems, so Tsunade takes him outside for another tussle, where instead of kicking his ass, she knocks off his headband and gives him a kiss on the forehead, showing that she believes in him. We set off back towards the leaf.
Alright, so the first stretch of this half of the episode is like, yeah, it is like Tsunade just fucking wailing on Orochimaru, like yanking him around and shit. In the manga, like, it is really just like the one fucking punch that like basically takes him out of the fight. And like in the anime, I guess they're like, hey, we need a little more time in this episode, and also like we got some animators on board. Maybe we want to like draw Tsunade doing some shit. I think a lot of it looks pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Like there's the bit where she's like wheeling him in midair that I think has like this really like striking quality to it. That's like animated by Akira Matsushima, who is like the animation director on the show, like a recurring animation director on the show. Also, like I've talked about him before. He's the guy who goes on to direct, or like not direct, to be the character designer on the Demon Slayer adaptation.
Yeah.
And like once the fight is on the ground, there's like a bunch of like fun, like like a lot of like fun action with Tsunade and Orochimaru like moving around a lot, and like there's like the cool moment where she like grabs the sword with her feet and like hurls him back. Just all sorts of shit like that. That is animated by Shingo Adachi, who is the character designer for Naruto Uzumaki, Source of Woe, Sword Art Online, and the director of Konoha Crush seasonal favorite Licorice Recoil.
Woo!
Yeah, so that's like a fun coincidence there. So I think a lot of stuff is like very, very appealing. I do wind up kind of feeling like a lot of it doesn't really make the best usage of the fact that like Tsunade is like super strong, right? Like it's kind of like a normal punching fight past the like part where she's like hurling him around by his tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's just kind of taking the hits normally, and it's like it's fine, but like it definitely feels like the conception of the action is like a little weak in terms of like actually taking Tsunade's power set into like account, even if it does like look pretty good.
Yeah, right. Like she wielded that fucking like huge building-sized knife. Like she could throw Orochimaru into space right now if she wanted to.
Yeah.
She could just be like, okay, fight over, and throw him over the fucking horizon.
Just walks over to Kabuto and throws him too.
Yeah. Yeah, right. And in the next episode, we see them both land at the exact same place, like on top of each other. That'd be pretty fucking good. But yeah, she like finishes the fight, and the Orochimaru is just like, fine.
Yeah. Like before Orochimaru leaves, I was like that Mondo's like really fucking pissed about it. He's like, I want to fucking like I'm so mad. I want to fucking eat somebody here, but I got a big hole in my mouth, so I can't even do that. I'm just gonna fucking leave. Poofs into smoke. Frankly, don't know why I stuck around this long to begin with, but like,
yeah, I mean, like maybe he was hoping.
Maybe somebody would take the knife out, but then like, he was like, oh wait, Orochimaru can't lift that thing. He was just kind of like waiting for the fucking like he just didn't want to have like the knife out of there like too fast, or else he'd just be like bleeding too much. You know, that's probably part of it.
Mm-hmm. He wanted to watch Orochimaru get his ass kicked.
He thinks it's funny.
That's why I would stick around.
Yeah, all right. Tsunade and Dry get to have their moment of horror about like Orochimaru's body swap thing, because like, you know, it's one of those weird moments where like, oh yeah, we had this reveal, but like nobody else actually like knew about it. So like it gets played at like kind of like a reveal again the next time we like hear about it, because the characters don't know yet.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think it's mostly fine. I don't know what the big deal is.
The body swap thing.
Yeah, like how is it different from like regular murder that everybody does all the time?
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not the best thing to do, but like whatever.
Yeah, right. Like, yeah, like I said, it's not worse to me than like regular murder.
Yeah, right. Like it's. I guess if we're just talking like pure like body count, it's maybe one of the less fucked up things Orochimaru is even doing.
Yeah, he was about to feed 100 people to a giant snake.
Probably still has to do that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like Orochimaru is the kind of guy that just gets out of a lot of the stuff he promises to Manda.
Okay, yeah.
Like, he has to do it, like, sometimes, or, like, Manda eventually gets mad enough, but, like, you know. I'm sure he has, like, a tab going. And, maybe some, like, fights get, like, forgotten about. Yeah. Over time, you know.
Like, Manda's the guy who just, like, he gets, like, so mad about something else that he just kind of, like, forgets about the last thing he was mad about. So he's, like, it's like, you know, actually it's convenient that he got stabbed through the mouth, because he's not gonna, like, be even thinking about the fact that I owe him 100 people right now.
Yeah, because he can't have them anyway, right?
Yeah. It was like, hey, Manda, I'm sorry. I know I can't give you the 100 people I promised. I mean, I have had Kabuto build you a special straw. So you can eat through until you finish yelling.
We'll just put a big tarp over your mouth hole so it doesn't get rained in.
It's like, hey, there's probably not rain in there. It's fine.
Yes, you know. I guess you're right.
Orochimaru like fucks off into the ground. Kabuto like teleports away. You know, they take Naruto back to town. Just kind of fast forwards, like, okay, you know, Naruto's awake again. He's like mad that Tsunade's gonna be Hokage. He's like so fucking like. He's being such a shithead to her right here. Like, not even in that fun of a way, right? He's like, she's fucking frivolous, and she loves gambling, and she's stupid, and she lies about her appearance, and she's a girl. It's like, okay, man, chill out here a little bit.
Yeah.
Frankly, if I was Naruto, right, and I saw somebody with, like, a lot of, like, obvious kind of, like, you know, maybe, like a lot of, like, obvious seeming faults, like, being promoted to the position of Hokage, that would be encouraging to me. Like, that'd be like, oh shit, he's got a chance. Yeah. It doesn't fucking matter if you're a dumbass. You can get in there.
Right. I'd be like, yeah, if I was Naruto, I saw Tsunade going, it's like, maybe it's okay if someone who has themselves transformed into a young woman all the time becomes the Hokage.
Hey. It's inspirational.
Yeah.
I don't know. Fortunately, Tsunade's like infinite womanly benevolence means she's not mad at Naruto this time. She like flicks his headband off and she gives him her fucking like forehead kiss of like, you're gonna be the Hokage one day. You know, she's just kind of like, she's kind of keeping the seat warm for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're fucking off. They're headed back home.
Yep. Next episode.
Let's go for it.
Woo! Episode 97. Kidnapped. Naruto's hot spring adventure. The group stops off at a hot spring, and they're being watched by a couple of katana guys who are looking for Tsunade. Tsunade goes to play pachinko while Jiraiya and Naruto bathe. Naruto's done with the spring, but Jiraiya stays put, waiting for girls to show up. Naruto finds the room has been ransacked and his necklace stolen. He finds a note about some kind of debt due to the Akagi family, and goes to confront the thieves. The katana guys are confused about Naruto showing up. They introduce themselves as Senta and Bunzo, and explain their mistake after Naruto kicks their ass with shadow clones. They beg Naruto for help, and Tsunade is having bad luck with pachinko, and asks Shizune to go fetch her suitcase. At the front desk, Shizune receives a letter for Tsunade, saying Naruto's been held hostage for the debt money. She can't find Tsunade, so she decides to deal with it herself. Shizune approaches the hostage situation, transformed into Tsunade.
Yeah, so this is like our first all like completely anime original episode here. I feel like you can kind of like clock that it is, even if you like don't know from the manga, because like the episode starts with the characters being like, "Hey, there's not actually any reason for us to like stop over at this town and have like a little side adventure. Maybe even be kind of a bad idea."
Let's do it anyway.
Yeah, let's do it anyway. Like, it's fine. Like, I believe that, like, Dry is the guy who could be like, oh, hey, there's like, girls you can look at here, and just be fucking, like, coaxed into that, because he was the guy who spent, like, several weeks fucking around and, like, failing to find any information about where Tsunade was.
Uh-huh.
You know, everybody's, like, sort of, like, settles into, like, their vacation stuff, you know. Tsunade, like, goes off to, like, play some pachinko, get some, like, last gambling in before she just kind of gets, like, has to go be the Hokage and, like, never gets to do anything fun again.
Mm-hmm.
Dry like climbs on the hot spring to commit to like the only thing he's going to be doing this entire episode, which is like a really weak bit where like every once in a while we like cut back over to him and he's like, "Oh, I wanted to see pretty girls, but instead there's like girl monkeys or like sumo wrestlers or old women or whatever." Is very fucking very slight, but like fortunately it's just like it's only like well every once in a while we see Dry for 5 seconds, then we move on. I do think it's very silly that like the first time it's like, oh, he's like, oh, there's like, I want to see girls, but these are the wrong species, and there's a bunch of monkeys, right? And, like, they don't really have a way to, like, convey that these monkeys are girls to the audience or whatever, and so they give, like, one of the monkeys a pink ribbon on its head.
Yeah.
And also, like, judging from the various monkeys in this hot tub, Dry is, like, considered very sexy in the girl monkey community.
It's true! Fuck. I mean, if I have some monkey friends.
All right.
And they were giving me some shit about being mean to Dry earlier.
Okay. Well, you learn something new every day. Every other group of people comes to Dry, they would just be like, I feel like they're just like well within the rights to be really pissed about him, because he's just kind of like sitting there like fucking complaining about them being here, like ruining the whole vibe, honestly.
Yeah.
Dry just like gets beat up by a bunch of sumo wrestlers for like fucking complaining about them like going to the hot tub, and they're just like here to have a good time being sumo bros together.
Yeah, like what the hell, dude?
I feel like if fucking like 20 sumo guys get into the fucking hot springs with you, that's like, hey, you get to fucking chat with those guys. I bet they got some stories.
Yeah.
I bet that's like a fun bunch of guys. Disrespectful, honestly.
Totally.
Naruto goes back to his room and like finds the necklace has been stolen. He's he goes off to deal with it. In my mind, when I heard like, oh, the Naruto's had this necklace stolen, like my immediate thought was like, oh, this is going to be like a fucking comedy episode about the debt collectors just like dooming themselves to like nearly die repeatedly because of like the fucking curse of the necklace or whatever. It doesn't wind up going that direction, but like, you know,
a little bit sad it doesn't, but like what we get is also pretty fun.
Yeah, like because like he like runs into the guys and like, hey, you're not Tsunade, what are you doing here? And like, you know, he just like Naruto being like a good-natured kid, and these guys just being like two fucking losers who are like out doing a job they don't really want to do. Like I love that he just kind of like it's like he like immediately sympathizes with them, and he's like, okay, yeah, let's figure this out together. We can be bros. And I think that's like a great way for Naruto to like decide to engage with this plot.
Yeah,
it's very fun. And Shizune like meanwhile learns about this. Like she gets like you know she's like. She needs to like go and get like Tsunade's bag for her because Tsunade's out of money at the pachinko machine. She gets the letter from she gets the ransom letter, and she's like, you know, she like fails to find Tsunade for a while. Everybody but Orochimaru is like bad at finding Tsunade is basically the impression we get here.
Yeah.
So she just decides she's gonna handle it herself.
I have to question her judgment here.
Yeah, what do you mean?
I understand the like need to go and handle it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you do this, like, pretending to be Tsunade? Like, everyone knows that you're her, like, assistant or whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You could just go there as Shizune and be like, okay, like, I'm here to negotiate on behalf of Tsunade, right? Like,
right, like, especially because she's, like, trying to, in this episode, trying to, like, make sure, like, oh, people can't know Tsunade is, like, involved in, like, this and has all this debt. Right. So it seems, like, weirder to, like, pretend to be Tsunade and then, like, go and get very directly involved in this whole situation. I don't know. Like it is basically for the purpose of like, okay, here's like a bunch of like fucking goofy antics, people trying to trick each other. So like you get on that front. But I guess you are right. There's like, well, I don't really know why she does it this way in the first place.
But you know, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, it's like a fucking goofy comedy episode. It's whatever.
Yeah, and then she goes up and she's basically just like, yeah, I don't give a shit about the kid.
Yeah, fucking whatever, kill him. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't know why she does this either.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, it's a bluff, right?
I guess so. But she doesn't like. This is getting to the next half of the episode a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she doesn't commit to it all. Like she doesn't wait for them to do anything. She's just like she says that we have like that fucking like mid episode like commercial break cliffhanger. Where it's like I don't fucking care about Naruto. And like immediately after the fucking break, she's like, is what I would have said until recently, but actually I care about him now a lot.
Yeah. All right. Well, you ready to move on?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Fake Tsunade tries to pass off a bunch of fake money, but the katana guys don't buy it, so she uses force. Turns out they were transformed Naruto clones, so the guys are alright. Naruto tries to innocuously grab the suitcase while transformed as Shizune, which Shizune obviously doesn't fall for. Naruto grabs the case anyway, and runs for it with the katana guys. Naruto makes a bunch of clones to try and escape, and Fake Tsunade makes a bunch to pursue. Shizune catches him, and the guys find there's no money in her suitcase, only more IOUs. Tsunade catches them outside, causing a commotion, and it turns out Tsunade paid off the debt a year ago, and the katana guys just hadn't heard yet. The three of them set off, and realize Jiraiya's not with them. We see them all red floating in the hot spring, deliriously happy some girls finally showed up.
So I think it's like very fascinating how like how quickly Tsunade decides to take. I mean, how quickly Shizune decides to take alternate approaches to like solving this whole debt collector problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, she had like a few stages of this plan, but like at no point was like seriously trying to negotiate with these guys on the table. At no point was like trying to fucking like, you know, actually like handle this this problem like a professional capacity.
Yeah, she was just about to kill these guys.
Right. Like she like fucking launches like the needles at him. Like every other time we've seen Tsunade like launch, or every time we've seen Shizune launch needles at people, it's like fucking poison needles that kill people. Like, yeah. I want to know how many fucking debt collectors Shizune has killed over the years. Is that why she always keeps the fucking needle launcher loaded, like just in case?
Yeah, I mean, like, what other threats would she like run into like before the like Naruto events happened? Right? Like, it's debt collectors.
It's fucking debt collectors. She's just fucking killing guys.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated by like this vision. Like, I love the idea of Shizune as like a gay little freak who's like, I have to go and fucking dirty my hands for like Tsunade's purposes, and like she's not really even talking to her about it. She's just doing this.
Yeah, right. And then like Naruto gets involved, right? And the reason she's all like, oh fuck, Naruto's involved, that like complicates things, is because it means she can't just kill these guys.
Yeah, right. It was like, okay, well, right, because you know, we can't let anything like that would like jeopardize like Tsunade's like positions. The Hokage come to light, right? So like obviously these debt collectors need to be out of the picture. But like also if I just kill these fucking debt collectors and like Naruto's actually their friend, then I guess that's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Like if they kidnapped Naruto and she killed him, then be like, okay, well that's fine. That's just fucking work, you know?
Yeah, right. Then it's just like, oh, thanks for saving me from those kidnappers, Shizune. Yeah. Right. And also, I want to get Naruto's ass here a little bit too, right? Because like, what if they set that whole thing up, but they weren't shadow clones, and Shizune just killed these guys for kidnapping Naruto? Right? How the fuck would Naruto feel about that?
I mean, yeah, you know, I mean, we don't have to get his ass that much. He'd cover his bases. Like, you know, he heard, like, okay, yeah, so Tsunade's probably going to come, and, like, okay, so she used to be too afraid of blood to, like, turn some guys into paste, but, like, I feel like that might have changed recently, so, like, I mean, maybe we should be careful.
Yeah, I had this weird dream recently where she held a giant toad knife, so I think I'm going to play it a little bit safe.
See, Naruto does save these guys' life, which is, you know, pretty convenient.
Yeah.
Well, so, like, yeah. Tsunade had to fucking kill these guys. I mean, Shizune, like, if she wants to, like, side people, she has to fucking kill them, right? Like, if they go to the village after, like, it'd be like, if they just get, like, scared away or whatever, and, like, and then Tsunade becomes the Hokage, then, like, they fucking know where she is, right? So, yeah. Like, if in this is a problem, she needs to fucking take these guys out of the picture, like, here.
Mm-hmm. So, is the plan now to kind of, like, get Naruto, like, happy with the situation, and then go and, like, clandestinely...
God,
kill those guys.
Oh
later?
My God, yeah, it's just like you know, they like wrap things up here, like, and they're like, yeah, okay, well, we've like set up a payment plan. It's gonna be totally fine. And then like, you know, they're leaving the village, and she's just like, hey, actually, I think I forgot something back at the end. Like, I'll catch up to you. Don't wait up. And she like runs off and fucking like breaks these guys' necks in their sleep.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. Like I understand if you haven't like watched this episode, the things we're talking about are like not really there, but it's so much funny if they are. So that's why we're talking about it.
Yeah, right. No, we're just. I mean, we're not even like.
I mean, like, okay, she does try to kill those guys.
Yeah, she does try to kill those guys, right? Like we're just one layer.
We're just spitballing here. We're just like, okay, what can we learn about Shizune from this?
Yeah, right, exactly.
And I think the answers are very funny.
Yeah, like it is like genuinely very characterful for her to be like that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I love Shizune being like kind of a freak.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the biggest problems with Naruto is that none of the girls get to be enough of freaks, right? So like,
when you can read into it,
we gotta cling to that. We've gotta fucking
yeah, exactly.
we gotta build our fucking castles in the sand.
So
yeah, Naruto like goes looking for Tsunade, like for the case she has, right? And like sees who he thinks is Tsunade, but is actually Shizune, like in a fucking like hotel window, and she's just like drinking sake or whatever. And he's like, I can't believe she's drinking sake when like she thinks I'm kidnapped. But like, if Naruto thinks that's really Tsunade, then he knows that she already knows he's not actually kidnapped.
Yeah, I'm starting to think this episode isn't very well thought out or put together.
Maybe, like, who could say? Anyway, Naruto goes into the room disguised as Shizune and, like, takes the case away. And then Shizune, who is disguised as Tsunade, just lets this happen for some reason.
Yeah.
Like, mostly just, like, extend the problem for the rest of the episode.
Uh-huh.
Because there's no reason for her to do it otherwise.
Yeah, I mean, she's gonna finish her sake, come on.
Right. Like,
she has to stay in character as Tsunade.
For what reason?
Look... And Tsunade wouldn't... and Tsunade wouldn't just, like, stop drinking to go, hey, no. Tsunade would just grab a fishing pole.
Oh, yeah. Her classic move that she always does. And then, like...
And grab the suitcase with the fishing pole. And it's like Naruto's holding it up to walk away with it.
And, God, so, like... so yeah, like, you know, so Shizune's disguise Naruto like pulls the suitcase on like a fishing hook, right? And like Naruto has like a little bit of an argument about her, about how like, oh, like I can't believe you'd be so cold hearted. I can never accept somebody like you as the Hokage. Like, you know, like these people can't go home because like you haven't paid your debt to them. So like you know like I can't believe you'd be Hokage who like only cares about people from your country. And it's like, Naruto, I don't know how to tell you this. That's the job.
Yeah, literally, the Hokage's job is to, like, decide which people in the other countries get to live or die.
Yeah. Now, like, these guys are, like, very, very, like, an immediate inconvenience, so there's no real benefit to the Leaf to having these guys around, right? So, like, you know, I mean, pretty straightforward decision-making, you know?
Yeah. But, Naruto grabs the case back and starts their little, like, running antics.
Yeah, we get like a chase sequence, you know, like fucking, you know, just a succession of like, you know, like little bits like that. There's a bit where like, you know, Naruto like punches like Shizune's crisis Tsunade, but it's actually Tone. Tone can do transformation jutsu. I don't know if Tone can do human speech while like transformed. We don't get an answer about that, but like, you know, Tone can do anything a human can, except for maybe speak out loud. You know, it just kind of plays out like pretty straightforwardly, right?
Yeah. I do wanna note, that's a lot of fucking clones for Shizune to make.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing about Naruto making that many clones is like that's a big deal. That basically he only he does that.
Maybe she's got like a huge chakra reserve that we that just don't come up otherwise.
I mean, yeah, like probably. Who knows?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't know. You know, they open the, you know, eventually, like, the fucking katana guys, like, they get the, like, the case opens, and, like, they pull open Tsunade's wallet that is in the case, and it's like, oh, it's just IOUs, right?
Yeah.
What's fascinating to me about this is, like, back when Tsunade was in the pachinko parlor, she had, like, a different wallet. There's like, oh, I don't have any more money in this. I love that back in her suitcase, she keeps a second identical wallet full of, like, paper about, like, debt that she owes for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it was 2 for 1, right?
Oh, okay, yeah. That makes sense. You can't turn down on that.
I mean, like, I have several wallets.
Are they identical?
No.
Okay.
But they would be if they were 2 for 1.
Yeah, okay. I mean, like, when you see, like, a good deal on wallets and you turn it down, it's, like, basically, like, losing a gamble. So you gotta take your victories, you can get them.
Oh God. Okay. There was a dub line earlier in the episode that I really wanted to.
Okay.
It was when she was first asking for her suitcase, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Shizune was like, maybe that's not a good idea. Like all of your stuff is in there. The thing that Tsunade said to like bark back at her, right, is this like was like, don't give me that. You know I never quit in the middle of a losing streak.
Yeah, right.
I just thought that was a funny thing for her to say.
Yeah, that's pretty good. They all like fucking have like ran into each other. They made a big scene in the middle of town, and like the real Tsunade shows up, and he's like, "Hey, what the fuck's going on here?"
Yeah, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing dressed as me? Making a big scene. That's super embarrassing.
She already like paid off her debt to the Ikage family, which is like, I guess I didn't really get the idea that Tsunade was a person who was like paying back her debts ever.
Mm-hmm.
But like I guess that's what we need in this situation to give ourselves that like clean like kid show resolution, so like the fucking like random katana guys can like go home.
Mm-hmm. I want Tsunade to show up, and for like the situation to be explained, and then for her to just like turn the two katana guys into blood paste and like problem solved.
Oh my god!
Like what? Why didn't you do this earlier? That's the deal. Like that's your job.
She's like, come on, what? Why are you making such a mess out of this? I know you've done this before. It's like, oh my god, you noticed?
Oh my god, you noticed?
Oh my god, really? Oh, that's all resolved. But like walking home and like she's just explaining this. I was just really worried that if people found out about how much debt you had, that it would jeopardize your role as the Hokage, because like there's still all those other debts that you have that like are presumably still unpaid. And all of it, so I was just basically like, that's not a real problem. Are you kidding me? That doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, who cares?
It's just not related. Like I'm just gonna go be the president. Like even if that was a problem, like what are they gonna do? Get somebody fucking else? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You get fucking Jiraiya? No.
Yeah, you think they're gonna want to get Jiraiya back here?
That guy's like drowning right now.
He's literally dead. So yeah, is that the episode?
Yeah, that's the episode. Tsunade gets to go back to the village. It's a big win for her. She has like no consequences for her actions, basically.
Yeah.
Just one last gambling trip. That's that.
Nice. What are we watching next week?
Next week, we are watching the first Naruto movie.
Wow.
Naruto the movie, Ninja Clash in the Land of Snow.
Awesome. I'm really excited.
I'm really excited too. Like I'm like curious about like how those episodes are going to go. Like it's basically guaranteed that like these movies are going to look pretty good. I think pretty much all of them have like some really nice looking stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be fun on that level at least.
Hey, if you want to catch that episode early, you can check our Patreon, patreon.com/KonohaCrush. All one word, Konoha Crush. For just $3 a month, you get access to episodes up to a week early. And pretty soon, we're going to have our September episode of Narukai Uzumaki out, and we're watching Dot Hack Sign. So, look forward to that. For $5 a month, you get access to Narukai Uzumaki and any other bonus content we make in the future. Beyond that, I just want to thank our joining tier patrons, Maple and Izzy, the future Jinchuriki of the Six-Tailed Beast. And of course, thank you for listening. And hey, if you like the podcast, you should tell your friends about it. Like we don't like advertise or anything anywhere. So like word of mouth is probably going to be the only way people find our shit.
Yeah, I think we're making sure that people could really like, So
yeah. Also, hey, any images we talk about during the podcast can be found on our Twitter, twitter.com/KonohaCrush, all one word, KonohaCrush. We also have a Tumblr, KonohaCrushCast.tumblr.com. And I stream on Twitch at Guinevere Teef. GuinevereTeef. Twitch.tv/Guinevere Teef. Anything you need to shout out?
No, I don't do shit. I just hang out.
Yeah, she doesn't do shit. She just hangs out. She's on my streams a lot. We play Elden Ring on Fridays. It's a good time.
It's a great time.
Yep. And I think that's that. So, hey, thanks for listening. And remember, there's no such thing as filler.